Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, candlelight vigil held for slain youth in Camalota village. Fatal road traffic accidents reported in the south, and single mother from Georgeville appeals for help to get electricity supply to her home. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
Nine women, one ball, one diamond, 7 innings, one winner. It's a game of numbers. It's women's amateur softball in full high definition. Catch all the action from the diamond live on TNC 10, Belize's sport, news, and information station. Hi, I'm Chelsea Rain. I'd like to tell you about the biggest thing to hit the local real estate market, the Belize Real Estate Show. Whether you are a real estate agent or property owner looking to rent or sell your property, the Belize Real Estate Show can help. We offer high-quality production with stunning slideshows, voiceovers, cinematic videos, and even an extended walkthrough hosted by yours truly. Call the number on your screen and allow all our viewers to dream of renting or owning your property. Would you like?
Here now is the news in details. Residents of Camalota village held a candlelight vigil in the community on Friday night. The purpose of the public demonstration was to remind the general public that 2 months after the brutal murder of Akeem Timbrell and Sean Lopez, the case has still not been solved, and no one is in custody for the double homicide. Akira Shahid was responsible for organizing Friday's candlelight vigil.
Mainly because we want to remind everyone that we as the village know that there haven't been any arrests made, and we want something to happen. We need justice. We need a stop to gun violence. We need peace within our villages and justice to the situation. And mainly just to remember that everybody from the it haven't only been just Akeem and Sean that died. We have several others, maybe not by gun violence, but they also have been killed, some youths, and we want to show them some appreciation even though they're dead.
Now I noticed some of you carrying banners. What are some of those banners saying?
Well, I have one over here. It says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied." Matthew 5:6. And another one says, "As a village we stand up for ourselves, for each other, and for justice for Akeem and Sean."
What has been the police response in these 2 months since that tragic incident?
We haven't got anything as yet. No, nothing. We just have to be patient. That's all they told us. So we're still waiting.
After this event, what else is planned?
We will see what comes up in the next couple of months, and if nothing happens, we will have to do a next demonstration and maybe take it bigger, because we need justice to this. This is our guys. They died for nothing. It's innocent, and we want justice to this.
As the organizer, give me an indication, how has the family of these two young men been holding up?
I can't explain how they feel because I haven't lost someone so close, but as a village, and I grew up here, we all feel it, and I know it must be hard on them because it's their sons. Miss Charlotte, I've known her son since I've been born, and same thing with Mrs. Timbrell and Mr. Timbrell, but I know they must be taking it really hard, even though it's just been 2 months. Still, we need justice, and we need to put peace to this.
Akeem Timbrell and Sean Lopez were shot and killed on the evening of Sunday, May 1st in Camalote Village. The San Ignacio chapter of the Belize Tourism Industry Association is encouraging members and other persons involved in the hospitality industry to let their voices be heard. The issue at hand is a set of proposed changes to policy and legislation regarding the offer of accommodation services. The Belize Tourism Board is proposing to amend the regulations governing hotels and other establishments that offer accommodation services. But after reviewing the set of proposed changes, some members of the hospitality industry are raising some serious concerns. Judy Duploy is president of the San Ignacio chapter of BTIA.
There has been legislation in place since 1998. It's very stringent and it hasn't been enforced to date. Now the BTB is adding to the legislation and they want to start enforcing everything and making all the things on the minimum. It's a minimum standards legislation, and they want to make everything on their list mandatory and finable offenses. And in our opinion, we think that a lot of it is not relevant to standards, the minimum standards for operating an accommodation. And in our opinion, a minimum standard should deal only with health, safety, sanitation, and structure, not amenities. You can't legislate amenities. For instance, I don't want to be fined $500 for having the wrong size mirror in my bathroom. I don't want to be fined $500 for not having telephones in my room, or it goes on and on and on. On the hotel, our CAIO BTIA board reviewed the hotel lists. There's 16 types of accommodations lists of the minimum standards. We reviewed the one for hotels because it was the most relevant to the group, and it kind of encompasses all of it. There's a little bit more for resorts, but hotels is kind of the kind of the one that everybody's kind of involved with. And we went through and marked what we thought was relevant to legislation and what wasn't. We do want standards, but we want them only to deal with the things that are necessary. And amenities being legislated is, in our opinion, wrong. So we circulated some letters and had emailed the Director of Tourism and the BTIA on the letters that we were sending around to our members. And we had a meeting in CAIO the other day, and we issued a press release that people voted to issue a strong press release because we're very concerned up here.
According to Deploy, her group and others are not against regulation, but they believe that the proposed changes will actually hurt rather than help.
In our minds, and we were all in agreement on all of this stuff at our CAIO meeting, our thought is that we offer a unique product, we offer a diversified product, and we want people to still be able to experience that. And because I think this district, more than say San Pedro or Placencia or even the other districts, and a lot of us are off-grid, and it's a little bit different in terms of what we're offering, and most of us are pretty concerned about sustainability and ecotourism, which is our market. And so that's why we kind of are, I don't want to say battling, but why we've kind of gone to bat in favor of their changing the legislation. They want to change the legislation that already exists, but they want to add to it, not subtract from it. And I've done research on countries all over the world, and their minimum standards for licensing have only to deal with things that are relevant to, what I said before, health, safety, structure, and sanitation. And
now, this discussion has obviously started. Is there a timetable as to the way forward? Is there a cutoff date by which all of this consensus gathering has to be in?
We're supposed to have a presentation ready for the BTB board by the middle of this month, and then they want to have all this in place before the end of the year. And so there's not very much time. And if I can say in this forum that we would encourage everybody who can, whether you're a member of BTIA or not, to go to our general meeting on Wednesday from 10 to 12 at the George Price Center in Belmopan. This is the time to speak up. And if you haven't looked at the regulations for your kind of accommodation, I suggest you get them from the BTB and just look at them and go through and see if you think they're reasonable.
According to Deploy, persons wishing to make their voices heard on the proposed changes can send letters to the Belize Tourism Board or their respective branches of the Belize Tourism Industry Association. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages.
Would you like to know more about the flora and fauna of Belize? Do you enjoy gardening and need some tips? Then tune in to The Garden Show with Belize Botanic Gardens every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, only on the National Channel. That deals only happen once a year or only on special occasions. Walk into any one of our central TV and internet offices to get free installation, free modems, and free MyTV subscriptions. Visit us whether you're in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio, or Benque, or give us a call toll-free at 0800 Cable TV. Central TV and Internet. Bundle and save.
Bundle and save. Central TV and Internet.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. A 23-year-old woman from Silkgrass Village in the Stan Creek district died in a road traffic accident on the Southern Highway on Sunday evening. Wendy Valdez died on the spot when a car she was riding in overturned on the Southern Highway about 5:30 yesterday evening near the San Marcos Junction, about 14.5 miles away from Punta Gorda town. Police say that the car in which Valdez was traveling was heading towards Big Falls Village when the driver, 30-year-old Lionel Longsworth, lost control and overturned. Valdez's 17-year-old sister, Astrid Lopez, was trapped inside the wreckage. She has since been transported to the hospital and is listed in critical condition. The driver of the car, Lionel Longsworth, was admitted for observation. Police say they have taken specimens from Longsworth for testing, and he is yet to be served with a notice of intended prosecution. Another weekend road traffic accident in the south also claimed the life of a woman. 31-year-old Dunia Escoto perished when the SUV in which she was riding overturned near mile 35 on the Hummingbird Highway. The accident happened just after 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. The driver of the SUV, 28-year-old Jodine Gill, told police that she lost control of the vehicle and overturned. Gill sustained head injuries and abrasions to both her hands. The other passenger in the vehicle, 30-year-old Dania Portillo, sustained a broken left leg and had a swollen left jaw. She was taken first to the Western Regional Hospital for treatment and later transferred to the Carl Huchner Memorial in Belize City. A man was shot and killed early on Saturday morning in Belize City. The victim has been identified as 31-year-old Giovanni Gentle. Police say that Gentle was riding his bicycle at the corner of Regent Street and 13 Lane when he was approached by a gunman from behind who fired several shots in his direction. Police say that Gentle received several gunshots to the upper part of his body and his head. He was pronounced dead 2 hours after the shooting. Police are investigating. A single mother from the village of Georgeville is appealing for assistance. Carol Virus, who lives in a new area of the village, is complaining that for years now she has been waiting for electricity supply to be made available on her street, but nothing has been happening despite repeated appeals. Today we travel to Georgeville to hear Virus's story.
Really and truly, Patrick, I'm facing some serious challenges because as you can see, I live in this area where the last lamppost is at that end, and I live here with my kids without any electricity. When I go to school at night, this entire area is very dark, and I mean, to be a single parent and living here alone with these kids, anything could happen at night, you know, and especially when I am after school at night, I can't even concentrate in my class because I'm worrying about these kids at home by themselves. I am a teacher, I have to do notes, I have to make charts, I have to correct papers, you know, complete activities for the next day. Almost impossible without electricity, you know. I've approached the minister on more than one occasion. I've spoken to him. I know other people say it's not the minister's problem, but then the government owns the electricity company in this country. And I have approached him on more than one occasion, and he has not been very receptive. His answer to me has been that, well, when BL is ready, they will put electricity here. But I could recall in November, before the general elections, he had assisted other families on the other street, and they have electricity. You know, everybody down the street have, except for myself with these kids in this area. And I have gotten to the point where I don't think that I should take any more, and I need to speak out about what has happened because like I said, I've served this community here for 8 years, and to be a teacher without electricity, you know, my kids are going to high school. Sometimes they need to print stuff, and my daughter wouldn't tell me that till like sometime at 8 o'clock at night. Then we have to walk out in this dark to go to my school to print. You know, she has to do research. If she doesn't get that done at my school before nightfall, then she can't get it done. You know, this might sound bad, but my daughter actually failed Spanish because and she had to do summer school for Spanish. And I know some people say, oh, but she's a teacher. Yes, but then if we had the resources where she could do like additional work on her own, I don't think that would have happened. You know, it has been many challenges, and like I said, I applied for subsidy for my children, being a single parent, and I had to fill out this questionnaire whereby they ask you how many televisions you have, washing machine, refrigerator. I don't have that because I don't have current. And none of them were given a subsidy. And so some people will look at it and say, well, buy the 2 posts for yourself. How can I do that when I have to pay $1,600 for these kids for school? And then I still have to find money for myself to go to UB. And I have to find money for my kids to travel every day to school.
Now, as you face this challenge, what is it that you're asking for? You're not asking for a handout, right?
No, I'm definitely not. I'm not asking for a handout. I would just like the assistants to put up the post, and then I will take it from there. It's not like I'm begging government to pay my electricity bill or do whatever. I just think that it is my right as a Belizean that they just run the post, and so that I could connect my house.
How long have you lived in this area?
4 years.
And for the 4 years, there's been no electricity in your part of the road?
On this street? No. On the other street, yes.
As far as you're concerned, you're ready tomorrow to put in your electricity. It's just that the service hasn't reached you yet.
Yes, because the people who bought my house, there's a guy who was supposed to wire up the house, but then he said he doesn't see any sense in wiring up the house because that was a part and parcel of the house that I was given, that whenever electricity comes this side, he's to wire up the house for me. So as long as I contact him and yes, they're putting up the post, you know, I would really also like a street light because, you know, this area is totally dark, Patrick. You wouldn't want to walk back here at night. You can't even see your foot. You see this area in front of my house that is very muddy. I fell down here in November because it was so dark. I got out of my friend's vehicle and I slipped right down and broke my foot. And I was out of work for like 4 months. And out of that 4 months, I was paid only for 2 months. Another setback.
Who is it that you're appealing to now? You're getting the opportunity to tell your case to the public, but who would you want to come to your aid?
That's a tough question, Patrick, because I have asked the minister for my area and he has not been receptive. So I really and truly, I would like if BL would assist me by putting up the post, or anybody else who would understand my situation.
Do you think that you are being shunned because politics is involved?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
The mother of 6 children says she's left to believe that a little bit of politics might be involved in the delay in getting the electricity supply to her area.
last 2 weeks ago, the person running up for chairman for the UDP came to me and asked me if he could clean my yard. Nice gesture. I told him, yes, go ahead. But when he sent the person to clean the yard, the person said he can't clean my yard because he saw a Dan Silva sign on my house and I am voting for PUP, so he couldn't clean it. And then after putting up some things on social media, they came and cleaned a part of my yard. I'm thankful for them for that. But then politics should not be a part of this. You know, I am a teacher regardless whether, and I have children in my class, and some of their parents are running for election, so they should think about that. How could this lady prepare and do a good job with our children if she doesn't have electricity?
Is there a timetable that you're looking for them to start doing some work here? Because obviously you can't pick up your house and move it.
Yeah, I would hope that before the beginning of the new school year, that something would come up. You know, I have kids going to school, they need the electricity and I need it as well.
Carol Vires is a teacher at the St. Hilda's Anglican School in Georgeville. This is the news on the national channel. Stay tuned for a look at the weather after these messages.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of My TV is its cost as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Sunny weather prevailed over the country today. Here is the forecast for Tuesday. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Ronald Gordon at the Belize Weather Bureau. To summarize the news, here are the main points again. Candlelight vigil held for slain youth in Camalota Village. Fatal road traffic accident reported in the south, and single mother from Georgeville appeals for help to get electricity supply to her home. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.